Hello YouTube and welcome to Naturally Spriggs Spring 2022 garden. So as you can see, I'm prepping my garden. I'm taking all the debris and trash and things that I just kind of left there from last year's garden. So pretty much at the end of the season, I just abandoned my garden. So I'm doing all this cleanup. Picking up all the tools I've left out there, all the high branches and such from previous flowers and things. And so to make things easier for when it's time to till, I am mowing my garden. I am mowing at a 1-inch on my lawnmower. This is just a basic lawnmower, cheap lawnmower, nothing special, but it gets the job done. So by cutting down all the high weeds and thick grass, it'll make it a lot easier for when it's time for me to till. And as you'll notice, I'm bobbing the lawnmower up and down because it is quite thick in some areas and quite high in some areas. And depending on what type of weeds or whatnot is there, it's pretty thick. So this is kind of like what I'm doing to move the process along so the lawnmower won't get stuck. And like I said, I am cutting very low, 1 inch. Yeah, periodically it would get stuck and I would have to restart the lawnmower. So I kind of just went around the outskirts of the garden in addition to going inside the garden, and this was to cut down on the weeds that were surrounding the garden because I didn't want those to overtake the fence and then kind of, grow into the garden because I've had that problem before. And here I'm just kind of going, just all over the place here. And in the back there, I did attempt to grow some corn and some different root vegetables, but the weeds overtook it so badly last year, and they were quite thick over there. So that's why I'm, spending some attention, some time back there. And right now I'm in the flower bed from last year. This is where I had my wildflowers. So it's quite a bit of weeds and dead leaves and everything from the flowers last year. And right up in here, I had some sunflowers kind of guarding the garden. Something I was trying to, just see how it worked out. But also, you notice I had 2 different trellises to my left, and that's where I grew my tomatoes. So I'm going through here and cleaning this area up. See that stalk that just went down? That was one of the sunflowers, and I didn't realize they grew so thick, almost as thick as bamboo, and almost as tough as bamboo. So I'm coming back through here, and now I'm mowing down all the dead tomato plants and the basil that I had growing in here from last year. And then making sure I do both sides. Over here, I was attempting to grow melons, and they did not work out last year, but nonetheless, I've cleaned up this area as well. All right now, so I'm coming back into the front of my garden, and I'm going to work on the other side. But first, I need to remove some of this dead weeds and flowers and plants from last year that did not break down. The main ones I'm carrying out here right now are actually marigolds. They're a pretty tough flower, I will say. They're really good for the garden. Some of the pests don't like the scent of the marigold. It is a bit of a potent smell, but just a FYI. And like I did on the other side, I'm going to mow this side. Oh, I just have a few more here. I need to get out of here before I mow, because I know these are going to be a problem if I get these caught underneath my mower. And on this side last year, especially around up the trellises, excuse me, I had cucumbers growing, and back up in here, I had some greens. Wasn't very successful because the bugs kind of took those over, but I was able to harvest some. I had also attempted to grow melons on this side as well, but like I said, they didn't do well last year. And as you can see, I still have the landscaping fabric down. There were a few times I did get it caught underneath my lawnmower, so I did have to stop and fix that. I will say that I enjoy having the fabric down because it did cut back on the weeds. The spots that I took it up from, I did have some problems. I do have wood chips in the garden, but the grass at my house is pretty thick and very stubborn, so they would not see that. But like I said, it did help, and then again, having that fabric did help as well. Now, it's my intent this year to use it a lot more, so I can keep control of the weeds to a certain extent. I will say, mowing with this type of mower especially is very good exercise, so so I'm getting a 2-for-1, exercise and cleaning up my garden. You actually can't tell, but underneath my feet here are the pavers, I want to say that they're called. I need to clean that area up as well. And there's kind of like a little walkway I created underneath my trellises. That's my little flimsy gate I had put up from last year. And then at a certain point, I just went ahead and left it open because, truthfully, I wasn't keeping anything out. Okay, now I'm continuing on the other side to cut the outskirts of the garden, to cut back on any weeds that's growing from the outside inward. And this grass is very thick and lush. Hi. Well, I'm tired. I'm dirty and I'm tired. But I got a good amount of work done today.
and we're gonna keep going. So hopefully this week, spring break 2022, I can get my garden prepped. Hopefully I will have no interruptions. So I will see you next time.